Dixon Gold Wellness Circle and Light of Gold PR. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. It's Wellness Wednesday. And I know for some of us, it's like getting over hump day, right? We're almost to the end of the week. So, welcome to Wellness Wednesday. So glad that you're here. I literally was in New York about an hour ago. So I think I'm sorry I'm a little late, but overall I think I did pretty good trying to hop here back at home and be on live with all of you. Hey Jill, I see you. Good to see you. It's been a while. Yeah, so welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I'm Deborah Dixon-Anderson from Light of Gold PR and Gold Wellness Circle. And we have so many things going on, everyone. We have our women's conference coming up on Friday, March 31st in New York. We do a lot with branding and marketing and websites, and uh, we obviously host events. And so we help our customers in so many different ways. We have a team of about 6 to 8 of us, and we are, hey, Pierre, I see you. Welcome, Pierre. So we have a team of about 6 people, and we're working 6 to 8 of us, and we're always working on really cool and exciting projects. And we hope to have our wonderful guest. We will have our wonderful guest, my good friend Tony Smith, who is a life coach, will be joining us next Wednesday, and we'll be talking about meditation. But for today, we're going to be talking about mental health and the importance for mental health. And so we will just dive right in. If anyone has comments, suggestions, recommendations, or if you want to be on our Wellness Wednesday or our Marketing Monday, please just reach out and let me know. So let's just dive right into it. So mental health, what does that include? It includes our emotional, our psychological, our physical, our social well-being. And for me in my lifetime, I can't think of anything that has impacted us like COVID has. And a lot of people are still struggling with mental health during this time. And it doesn't just include that, it includes issues with racial justice. It includes, everything that the LGBTQ community is dealing with. It includes everything that women are dealing with, everything across the board, where so many things would be impacting our mental health. So it affects how we think, how we feel, and how we act, right? Our mental health. It also helps to determine how we even deal with stress, relate to others, and make healthy choices. Our mental health controls all of that. So it's really important for us to make our mental health a priority in our life. Sometimes we get so busy running around doing all these different things. Hey, Chris, I see you. My gosh, I'm seeing people I haven't seen in a minute hopping on the call. So welcome. It's just mental health is important in every stage of life. Doesn't matter whether we're talking about children, adolescents, young people, seniors, everybody. It affects everybody, middle age, adulthood. Your mental health will always be something that you should make a priority. So, mental illness refers to a wide range of mental health conditions, disorders that affect your mood, your thinking, and behavior. And so, 4 different types of mental illness. And keep in mind, I'm not an expert, just kind of having a conversation about this. We're going to be bringing on experts in the coming weeks. So, stay with us for that. Mood disorders such as depression or bipolar disorder. I don't know about you, but I have family members in my family that deal with depression or bipolar. There's anxiety disorders. And I got to tell you, I work with a lot of young people, and I have never seen so many issues with anxiety as I have seen with our generation of 20 somethings. I see, and teenagers, they deal with a lot of anxiety, and it's understandable. We have so many different things going on from day to day. It can be a very stressful time for a lot of us. Personality disorders, psychotic disorders such as schizophrenia, there's all sorts of disorders. But for the purpose of what we're talking about today, we want to just kind of talk about just the importance of, hey, Sophia, I see you. We just want to talk about just how many people are affected by anxiety and depression. And according to the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, general anxiety affects 6.8 million adults, or 3.1% of the US population. It's a lot of people, yet only 43.2% are receiving treatment. Just such a small number. So it's a lot of people who have disorders that are not even diagnosed, and certainly not even treated. So let's talk a little bit about the research. It shows that untreated teenagers with anxiety disorders are at higher risk for performing poorly at school. They miss out on important social experiences, and they engage in substance abuse, unfortunately. Many times, someone who has anxiety, who deals with other mental, that also deal with other mental health issues. So, what are some ways that you could just like treat these types of things? If you're a parent or a loved one of somebody who you see who may be acting erratically, you might recommend them going to a doctor, at least so that they could get diagnosed and be able to get some help. But there are really healthy types of day-to-day types of things that we could do to take care of our mental health, and that a lot of people who have diagnosed disorders actually have to go do extreme self-care. So what's extreme self-care? That's really taking really, really good care of yourself, connecting with others, having good relationships, good, healthy relationships with friends. They're really important to your mental health, your mental well-being, and also family members. Unfortunately, there are toxic relationships. We always have to set boundaries with those types of relationships, or just kind of uh, remove certain people from your life, or at least remove them from being in your life so often if you're dealing with negativity. But certainly if it's toxic and abusive, it's someone who you have to really rethink whether you even want to keep them in your life. So meditation and breathing techniques are really important. Make sure you join us next week, because we're going to be talking about the importance of meditation. And it is important. It is fantastic. I myself uh, do meditation at least a couple times a week. I'm up to about 20 minutes where I do a lot of deep breathing and just kind of channeling and quieting down my mind, and just concentrating on just clearing my head. I'm able to I've gotten up to 20 minutes. My goal is to get up to 30 minutes. It takes a little time before my brain just can't turn off. So I've been able to train myself to do meditation for up to 20 minutes. So next Wednesday we'll bring on Tony, my good friend Tony Smith, who shares some tips and what uh, meditation can do for you. So that's just a plug for next week. Working out, oh my gosh, that's like one of my favorite things. It's just to work out, to go to the gym, to exercise as much as possible. It is so important. And you know what? Whatever your flavor of exercise is, and whatever works for you, that you can do it consistently and look forward to it, then go for it. It could be running, it could be walking, it could be for me it's Zumba and walking and bicycling. It could be bicycling, it could be working out inside of a gym or outside of a gym in nature. Just like, you just pick whatever works for you. But if you could do it consistently, and when I say consistently, I don't mean once in a while. I mean like, weekly, every couple of days, 2 to 3 times a week, 3 to 5 times a week. It's good for your heart. It's good for your mind, your body, your spirit, to get exercise in. So that's really, really important. So working out, physical activities are a powerful stress reliever. Healthy eating, oh my gosh, that's always something that I'm working on, just like everybody else. Just eating healthy, not as much processed food. Healthy food is really important, and nutrition is really important. It changes everything. And I remember talking about this before. Drinking water makes a big difference too. Some people like to start the day with, they gotta have that cup of coffee, right? I get it. I have found that what clears my mind and makes me feel good in the morning is to go ahead and have a glass of water. So having a glass of water, whether it's 6 ounces, 8 ounces, having a glass of water changes. It just makes me feel better. And getting in as much water throughout the day, it does really, really help. So setting goals and priorities is really important. We talked a little bit about manifesting, and when you have a goal, hey, we're already almost a month and a half in to 2023. So if you set some goals for 2023, you already lost a month and a half or a month and a quarter, right? So making sure you're focused on setting goals. And so what are goals, right? So goals are like dreams with a deadline, right? That's what a goal is. It could be like a dream. Dreams are goals with a deadline. I'm sorry, I got that backwards, but dreams are goals with a deadline. And so making sure that you stay focused on what your goals and what your priorities are is really, really important. So many of us get thrown off track. Sometimes it's with someone else's drama, sometimes it's with other things or other people who kind of throw us off track a little bit. So making sure that we're staying focused on being positive and what our priorities and goals are and what our dreams are is really important. Breathing techniques, we'll talk a little bit more about that next week, but breathing techniques are really good. When I feel really stressed, sometimes taking a deep breath in your nose, blowing out of your mouth just makes you feel so much better. And I find that if I do that a couple of times a day, depending on what's going on, maybe I have a lot of projects going on, a lot of deadlines, stress going on, then I always try to do some deep breathing. And trust me, it does help with it. Like if you feel the stress, like maybe a headache or just feel stressed out in your body, deep breathing really helps you. It's something that you could do at anytime that you want. So here's some things to consider. Talking to someone, it could be a therapist, it could be a counselor, maybe going to a group session. Me, I love talk therapy. So I have some trusted communities that I'm part of. My feisties who I walk with, these ladies and I have been walking for almost 3 years. We started walking when the pandemic started. And oh my goodness, the things that we've talked about has been like, it's just been amazing. We've all gone through so much in 3 years, but we know that's a trusted space for us to share things that we're dealing with, whether it's family members, loved ones, loss, grief, whatever it is. We've shared it on those walks. So having those trusted communities to share, or seeing someone, if you have consistent struggles with depression or anything like that, seeing a therapist, getting some help. There's nothing wrong with needing help, and there's nothing wrong with getting help. So just remember that. It could be a friend, it could be a family member, but if you need more help than that, sometimes you need to go see a therapist. And therapy has changed so much now. People are seeing therapists on Zoom now, they're seeing therapists in person, they're mixing it up a little bit. There's apps now. It's amazing how therapy has evolved and counseling has evolved now because of COVID. And so just making sure that you're open about that. So good communication is really important when trying to cope with a mental illness, and being able to talk about it and share so that you can get the help that you need, because sometimes someone you'll share it with will be able to direct you to get the help that you need. So being able to identify what it is that's bothering you, what's going on, is really important. So time management, oh my gosh, I can't even begin to tell you how important that is. Sometimes we pack so much into our day. Who is guilty of that? I could raise my hand. I am guilty of that. Just having so many things that we're trying to accomplish within a day, right? Or a couple of days. It's just not even realistic to try to get all these things done in a day. So making sure you are realistic about what you can accomplish in a day is super, super important. And so time management, if you don't think you can get it done today, then put it on your schedule for the next day. And there's nothing wrong with that. But so many of us pack things into our day, and that creates stress. That's what it does. You're stressed out because you're either running to an appointment. I do it all the time. I'm running to a Zoom call, and then I'm also mixing in an in-person meeting. And so now I look at my schedule in a totally different way from a realistic standpoint to say, you know what, I don't think I could do that today. I'll have to do that next week or tomorrow or the next day. So being realistic about your time and how much you can really accomplish is really super important. So that can de-stress your life, just practicing time management. So learn your anxiety triggers and set a plan to implement these tactics into your routine. It's really important to do that because some of us have triggers, and those triggers will cause stress for us. So backing away from those triggers, really important. So I'll tell you what some of mine are, and you can let me know what some of yours are. Please, if you have anything, drop it into the comments or anywhere, and I'll mention it as I'm talking about this. But what I can tell you, some of my triggers are my phone, too much information. If we have politics, we're looking at too much news, too much, TV or too much news on our phones. Those can be anxiety triggers. And we have to be really, really careful about balancing how much time we're spending looking at our phone, looking at news. There could be something that just happened that's horrible. And unfortunately, there's so much happening every day that's heartbreaking. But if you consume all of that within a day, it will cause you stress. It will cause your blood pressure to go up. I just came back from the doctor today. So when I'm trying to get to the doctor and I'm running from the train station, usually she will have to do my blood pressure twice, because when I get there, my blood pressure is a little elevated. After I've been there for 10 or 15 minutes, it goes down. So just making sure that you're watching, like, triggers, stuff like that, like too much news, watching too much politics, looking at your phone constantly, having to always feel like you have to always be available to everybody. That's a problem. And our phones will do that to us, make us feel like we have to answer every single text message right away, every Facebook message, every LinkedIn message, Twitter, Instagram, wherever, however we connect with people, and feeling like we have to do it right away is a trigger. And so we have to really be careful about balancing how much time we're spending on our phone and to release stress. So those are just a couple of things about mental health. We always try to repurpose all of these videos and put it on our Gold Wellness Circle website. We are working on our Alzheimer's event for June, so we would love those of you who want to attend or participate or be involved in that. We'll be sharing more and more information about that. So always go and check goldwellnesscircle.com and be part of our list as well. And that way we can keep you posted on what we have going on. So join us next week as we talk about relieving stress with meditation. Can't wait to see. We'll have Tony Smith as our guest, and you'll be seeing some postings about that on all of our social media platforms. But thanks everybody for joining us today. I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. Thanks for joining us for Wellness Wednesday, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.